Hi everybody, this is Odd Samuna and today I'm going to be reacting to One Piece chapter 1152. Of course, since it's Thursday, I'm going to be reading it on TCB. So let's talk just a little bit about 1151. I said that I'm reacting to 1152, right? Whatever. If I made a mistake, I made a mistake. But yeah, we have Dory and Broggy on their way to kill Jarl, and then we see like an actual reversey game board to show that that is exactly what Emu is doing with their power. Then we see Ripley going for Colin. The kids are asleep again, so that means more nightmare monsters. And that's when we get a look at Killingham's hybrid form. Now, considering how Oda usually does summons, I assumed that the one we'd already seen was the hybrid form, but now I'm not so sure. I mean, it could be the full Zoan, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, this one, it actually gets like a little info box telling us it's the hybrid, whereas the other one, I'm pretty sure we didn't. But yeah, it's just basically like a centaur, like Ethan Baron. Although we don't know if the Gorosei have fruits, we haven't gotten it confirmed, but that's what this reminds me of. The lower half of his body is the Kirin, and the top part is human. So like, I didn't even like register that his teeth are sharp. So I'm like, okay, is there a reason for that? Because I'm pretty sure there are some humans in the One Piece world who just have pointy teeth, and there isn't, as far as we know, an actual reason why they're like that. Though I am still going to throw the possibility that he could be part fishman or part mink. Now, being part fishman, that would have a lot of interesting implications. But, considering how racist the celestial dragons are, like, how would that come to be? I'm not sure. Especially having someone with fishman blood be a holy knight, Would they really allow it? I don't know. But, like I said, the possibility is there until, I was gonna say until we get told otherwise. But what if we don't? Like, we just finished the arc and Killingham just, we just don't get to know if there's a reason behind his teeth being like that. Also, his personality kinda, sort of, pretty much, switching, being pretty different from when he was in that other form. Like, he was, like I said, he was cruel because he's still doing Holy Knight things. But he was like, pretty chill, pretty just, let's, Summer's just let Gunko listen to whatever music she wants, whatever. And even when he's, basically he's not like overly, like, no, not overly, I'm not gonna say that, but like, you know what I mean? He was never smiling or laughing as he was like threatening the teacher at the school. He just seemed like, whatever. But now he seems like actively be enjoying this this destruction and damage to the people of Elbaf. So yeah, that's definitely different. So is it because of his fruit, or is it because of something else? We might have to wait and see about that as well. But yeah, I just really want to talk about killing him here. We have a small moment with Usopp about Dory and Broggy and not liking the way that they're acting. As Cici said, turning into something with no pride at all. So, I'm not having like super big expectations about Usopp, but maybe that's Oda, setting something up for him. And then here we have Imu saying, "Had Harold not blundered in that critical hour, the nation wouldn't have long would have been beneath my rightful dominion." I can speculate, but I don't think I'm gonna be like, I don't think I can really guess what Harold's blunder was. So let's just wait for a flashback. But considering, like, remember when Summers first appeared and he was like, "Why are you here? Are you like visiting Harold's grave?" So that's from that I was like, okay, were they in good terms? But then what Imu says makes me think very differently. So, like I said, maybe he was gonna do a deal with the world government. Or even Imu directly. But then last minute he was like, nah. And then Imu used dummy reversing on him. And that's why Loki had to kill him. Okay. There's, a kind of hypothesis. But I'm not gonna, put too much stock on it. Then we have Summers and Chopper falling into the underworld. And we finally get to see what Luffy's group is doing. He notices that it's Chopper who fell down. He's not sure, how he knows. I'm guessing voice of all things, because otherwise, why would he be confused if it was observation? And then we have this conversation between Loki and Mosa. And it is sweet that Loki has a friend, considering how lonely he's been ever since he was tied up here. But I have no idea who Mosa could be, so I'm not even gonna try. I don't think I don't think we've been given enough clues to try and make a solid theory on who Mosa is. Some people have, but like I said, I don't think there's enough yet. We have that moment when Gerd is like, "It's nice to know I somehow found a friend to lean on in the realm of the dead." And Loki acts like a tsundere. Well, we all know he cares. Yeah, I'm just really curious who Mosa could be. Cause it could be a new character for all we know. One that I thought was interesting was that it could be a slave in Marijoa. That could be something that, considering Loki's distaste for the celestial dragons. But yeah, Mosa and Loki have never met each other, so how did they get each other's Dendemushi's numbers? Yeah, hopefully, whenever we do meet Mosa, I am going to go back and read Loki's conversations with them to be like, oh, this makes a lot more sense now that we know who it is. But yeah, they start patching up. Gavan, Luffy finds out that he is the Scupper Gavan, the man who was, one of the Pirate King's wings, which I like. That's basically the same terminology that Robin used for Sora and Sanji. Also, that funny moment when they're like, he was like the third strongest, and Gavan is like, actually, I was second. I see that parallel rivalry. Chopper tells everyone what's going on as far as he knows, because yeah, he went down before Imu took control of Gunko, so he doesn't have the full info of what's going on, but he told them. Then they feel the hockey that Imu used to knock out some giants. I think it was in 1150 or at the beginning of 1151. And then we have the last few panels where Hydodin, Luffy, and Loki have their, battle faces on. So yeah, we'll see. I'm real curious about whether or not we're taking Loki. Especially considering, like, can Imu, do Domi reverse it to him? Or not? Okay. 1152. Titled An Awful Day. Alright, that's not very comforting. Delivery complete. Kawamatsu, daimyo of Hakumae, receives Otama's hat. Oh, that's cute. Okay, yeah. Ulti and page 1 still there, of course. Because they're gonna follow Yamato to the ends of the earth now. As he smiles, thinking of Otama making the hat. Okay. Chapter begins now. Abnormal haki emanates from the realm of the sun. Emanates. Let's hurry to the lift. Gerd, we'll leave this sack of filth in your care. Oh man, they're really leaving Loki? Be careful, I shall dedicate all my might to this. Gerd tassel? How do they move it? Let's get going. Okay, so that's Rodo. The guy with the shield. Goldberg? And then the last guy, I don't remember his name. I'd better stay too. I figured that one of the doctors was gonna stay with him. Yasan's wounds are too severe, we cannot move him yet. Got it, I'll leave it to you. Hey, Strawhead Luffy. Be mindful of the way you use Skunkar's haki. I was about to say, there's no way we leave without Gavan telling us how he did that thing to Summers where he slowed the regeneration. Those guys are by no means immortal. Oh? Thanks, you can count on me. I'll save Colin and his friends no matter what. That's not... I feel like that's not enough information. But I guess we're in a hurry. Gavan, that just made it click for me. I wasn't able to put it into words before. My own power. What does he mean? I'm the only one left who's faced these knights before. I know I can beat them. I mean, it wasn't a fight, but he did get pretty badly injured by them. I don't know if that's, I don't know if I would word it the same way he did. But he's technically not lying. Free me and take me with you, Hydodin. Oh, you fighting for Elbaf? Yeah, that's a fair question. I don't, especially since I don't think Loki is the type to, actively lie. And I'd ever take you with us. You know what? I don't even blame Hydodin, honestly. But hey, even if you, how do I say this? The whole, I don't think Loki is evil, but the enemy of my enemy is my friend type of deal. You can't stand Loki, but he can't stand Holy Knights. slash celestial dragons. So I understand, right? Why he thinks it's so risky. There's another in your group who uses Conqueror's Haki. Sora? Sanji, please. Is it me? I knew it. With how things were going, Mushead and Jinbe were about to assert me. Sanji, stop. You're embarrassing yourself. You there, swordsman. Your body seems to be growing accustomed to it. Oh? But he's only used it once, I think. Right? Against Kaido with the Ashura? So, like, yeah, of course, Sora looks very confused. He doesn't even know he has it. I have Conqueror's Haki? Yeah, that's what I expected. What? You didn't know? It's been oozing off you. Luffy could tell? And he didn't say anything? How absurd. Haki is a power that must be understood and tamed. Your captain is one of the 4 emperors. You should be meticulous if you intend to have his back. My bad. Oh my god, I did not expect Gavan to be so harsh about it. But I mean, yeah. I wonder if this is gonna, like, if this is gonna affect Sora's mental state. When he's like, oh man, I could have been getting stronger and using this thing. Like, what am I doing? Hey, old man, what about me? Hydrogen, you're pathetic. You'd rather sit back and let this outsider save our homeland? Sanji just got ignored. I'm right here. Use me. Interesting phrasing. Use me. You know? Like seeing himself as a tool? As a weapon? Who's to say you won't side with the government? You could easily stab Elbaf in the back again. Oh man. I hiding this perspective up until this point, I was like, yeah, you know, I totally get it. And granted, he didn't see when Loki was dealing with Shamrock and Gunko, but he's so wrong about this in particular. Just like you did on that day. How can you expect me to trust you? On that day, the day he killed Harald? Look at Loki's expression though. He looks genuinely rattled. Hydrogen, hurry! We can't let the casualties pile up anymore. Hey, Loki! Oh? Wow! Oh, I was not prepared for that. What the hell? Join my crew. Grant, there's so much that I could say, but let me. Let me not look at anything else in that page. Let me calm down. So, I had seen people say like, oh, not many, but I had seen people say like, what if Loki joins the crew? And then there was the opposing side who was like, that's dumb, that's ridiculous, that's not gonna happen. Now, I'm not saying that it is a guarantee that just because Luffy invites someone, that's not a guarantee that they'll join the crew. So that's why I'm like, okay, you know, calm down. it's actually been quite a long time since he, like, Luffy himself invited someone to the crew. Because Yamato invited himself in. That's different. Like, I could be wrong, but I think it might have been all the way back to Punk Hazard. When he wanted Kinemon to join, back when he was just a pair of legs. But I feel like this is different. This isn't just Luffy doing it because he thinks, you know, the person he's asking is funny. Like, he literally invited Brook, like, a minute into meeting him. Now, that ended up, you know, actually Luffy really liking him because of his personality. But when he first did it, he didn't really know him, so... But like I said, it ended up working out pretty well. So, logistically, I don't think Loki fits in the Sunny. So how would we do that? You know what? Let's not think about practicality right now. Let's listen to Luffy's reasoning. I can just hear Mayumi Tanaka saying, "Ore no nakama ni nare." If he does, then you can't complain if I free him, right, Hyrudin? That's crazy! Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. If he's Luffy's crewmate, he can't say about the way that Luffy... He can't say anything about the way that Luffy, you know, orders or does in regards to his crewmates. Yo, Hyrudi's reaction is very understandable. Especially when you remember, you know, that he's in the Grand Fleet, the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. You know, him, Cavendish, Bartolomeo, Leo, Sai, all of them. They were like, you know, adopt us, basically, as your subordinates. And Luffy was like, meh, you know? I don't really feel like that's my vibe. And that's, you know, totally fine. But, like, you know, like, what must it feel for Hyrudin? That Luffy didn't even, like, ask him to be part of, you know, to create the Grand Fleet. They have to be the ones to be like, nah, we'll do it, even if you don't want us to. But here, he's extending his hand, metaphorically, to his brother, who he really doesn't like. And just, you know, and just feels like he's treated Loki a lot better than Hyrudin himself. Granted, Luffy has some selfish reasons, obviously. But you know, you I feel like you gotta put yourself in Hyrudi's shoes for a moment here. Okay, I think I'm ready to keep going. I was expecting Zoro and Sanji to be like, what the hell are you doing? Huh? Get real, Luffy. There's no way we'd put him on the ship. What did I say? You know, that's definitely a concern. Yeah, think of the food supplies. He eats even more than you do. That's also true. Like, that would be so much work for Sanji. Look at Luffy's face. Look at him. Elbaf doesn't seem to want him. But he seems okay to me. Besides, if he tries anything, I can always beat him up. Let me not say anything. What is Loki's response? Don't mess with me, you runt. There's no way I'm becoming your underling. should have expected something like that. I mean, you know, the panel where Luffy asks him, I understand that he'd be like, what? So I was like, okay, let's wait. You're going off your guard, huh, Straw Hat? I can't wait to see how he fights. I feel like even if Loki doesn't change his mind right now, just Hyruddin seeing what Luffy was willing to do to take him with him and free him, I feel like that's gonna change Hyruddin's perspective a little bit. Hyruddin, what are you doing? The lift's ready to go. I'm coming now. Sorry, Straw Hat. Loki's a condemned criminal in Elbaf. I can't just hand him over to you. Is that right? Is Luffy really someone who cares about that? Really? Hyruddin, release Loki. If Gavin was of that mind, you know, thinking of that, why didn't he say so earlier? What was that, Yasun? 14 years ago, Loki murdered 113 members of the castle guard. He left Elder Jarl at the brink of death, killed his own father in cold blood. Yeah, like, Loki has hinted, you know, when he said something like, do you really think I murdered my father in cold blood? Or like, you know, I did it because I wanted to, something along those lines. But for some reason, he's not really tried to explain himself. I mean, you know, obviously there's the thing of Heidi not believing him, so that could be just what it is. He's the worst criminal our country's ever known. I know, but on that day I felt a strange emanation of haki coming from West Castle. Shanks and I went there to investigate. Looking back, 14? Did he say 14 years? Yeah. Shanks and I went there to investigate. Looking back, it's possible we didn't have the whole story. I mean, yeah, I would say so. I have the feeling that they didn't even let Loki explain himself. You went to the castle? What the? Wait, did you just say Shanks? Of course, that's what he cares about. Stanson, I'm sorry, go ahead without me. Zoro, Sanji, I'll catch up in a bit. Okay, Zoro and Sanji are going up without Luffy. This dumb Shanks thinks again. I don't like the way that Zoro said that. Like, I'm hoping it's a little bit of like a mistranslation. If it's not, though. Like, why is Zoro so hung up on this? Hey, don't call Shanks dumb. He means you're the dumb one. Hey, what do you know? Does that mean that Sanji agrees with Zoro? I mean, I understand Luffy's immediate response because he's just so sensitive about Shanks. But, you know, it just feels off, you know? Zoro knows how much Shanks means to Luffy, and yet he calls this whole thing about him dumb. You know, like, I feel like before Egghead, Zoro, like, even if he doesn't care about Shanks himself, obviously, it feels like he would care because he's important to Luffy, you know? If it's important to my captain, then it's important to me, type of thing. I don't know, I feel like this is definitely like a stress building up within Zoro. And, you know, here in Elbaf, Luffy wanting to know more about Shanks is what started this whole thing with Loki. So I feel that's like a big thing of why Zoro is like this. Okay. Gavan, you have 3 minutes to explain, Loki. Oh, whoops. Missed a speech bubble. Heidi, who else can get him talking? You may have had different mothers, but you're still brothers. 3 minutes. Are we finally gonna get a flashback? I think it's probably gonna be next chapter, though. Tell me what happened in the castle 14 years ago. I've been waiting for this. If you truly consider yourself a warrior of Elbaf, swear on our gods that what you say is the truth. That's cruel, brother. Oh. We have a panel focusing on Gerd, the people leaving. You really want me to relive that day? I feel like he's smiling, but I don't feel like there's any humor on that smile. I don't want to remember yet. Yeah, look at him right now. Reminding me of Kizaru when mourning Vegapunk. Even though he doesn't need to cover his eyes because they're already bandaged, he still does it. Yes, we're starting the flashback. Sorry. I do feel bad for Loki. It was an awful day. Look up in the sky. 14 years ago, Elbaf, Owist Castle. Finally, yo, they've been teasing this since Loki was basically introduced. So let's get this. Doga ha ha ha, why it's Loki. Prince Loki has returned. Elder Jarl just arrived too. He summoned you too, Loki? Something like that. This is my family's home, you know? You sound well, old man. You haven't grown sick of life yet? Quiet, you. The king is in the audience chamber. I wonder what he wants. It's hard to care about the whims of a government dog. Okay. He sold out to the people who killed Rox. Wait, I don't think we know how Rox died. So this is new. If that's the direction Elbaf is heading, then I'll oppose it. You're being loud. I'm too old for this stuff. Politics is a young man's game. We're in this mess because you keep spouting that kind of nonsense. Now we got a whole generation of peace-addled brats who can't even hold a weapon. Interesting reaction from Jarl. That's just a sign of the times. It's nice to know that my great-great-grandchildren won't see combat. They want peace. Coward, it's your duty to whip them into shape. What's that sound? It's coming from the throne room. Thank you for coming, Elder Jarl. I did not I thought it was just gonna be like one page and then to be continued. Okay. Thank you for coming, Elder Jarl. Loki. I mean, young master, it's a pleasure to have you back. Of course. Well, let me just consult with the king. He summoned me and this is my home. Open up, idiot! Yeah. Young master, violence is... Old man, I'm back. Oh? Whoa. Okay. Your Majesty! kind of looks like you know, when we saw the Goros's demon forms before they were actually revealed when Cobra was killed. What? Harold, what the hell are you doing? Oh no! I just saw the rest and we're cutting away from Loki's POV. Also, yeah, you know, this is already different from what we've been told. All those soldiers slash guards are trying to kill Harold. But as far as I can recall, we've never been. It's never been said that this happened. Realm of the Sun, Gavin's house. What a staggering view! This is the best, right? Ha ha ha! It's been oh my, Shanks in the bath. It's been quite a while since we shared a bath. How long's it been? 3, maybe 4 years? Also, oh, this is sweet though. Shanks visiting basically one of his father figures. Get real, it's been 10 years since the captain died. Oof. That long, huh? That must feel like forever ago to you. Yeah, life's completely changed. I honestly just wanted to be a carefree pirate with Buggy. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. Like, just, you know, the way that Buggy and Shanks were thinking and feeling, and remember that last meeting when Roger died. It's, you know, very different. I mean, it's a source of pain for both of them, but yeah. Buggy saw it as a betrayal that Shanks didn't want to go for the One Piece. But obviously Shanks doesn't seem to see it that way. Still, Elbaf, there are some things I'd like to know. Understandable, you were a child of destiny. Alright. New term. Child of destiny. Shanks. But let's not dwell on tricky topics today, Shanks. Say, remember Little Garden? The island where we met Dory and Broggy? Of course. Gavin looking real cool with that hair 14 years ago. Hot enough, Yasan? Shankun. Cute. Well, you scared me. Shankun. Bahaha, it's great. Thanks, Ripley. This spot is really the best, so this is what a human giant household is like. Have some lingonberry tart and help yourself to drinks. Shankun, get any juicy old stories about Yasan? About Gavan-san? Oh, I've got one. Anytime we made it to a port, there were who knows how many. Ouch! He was about to expose him. He was definitely sleeping around a lot. You brat, if you want to make it out of this country alive, you'll zip it. That's so cute. Do you know Harold? He's the king of Elbaf. The people think of him like a god. Yeah, I met him at Marijua. We got along alright. Yo, hold on a second. We're gonna find out when Shanks went to Marijua? Why did he go? When did he find out, you know, who's his blood-related family? We couldn't speak freely in the Holy Land. Now that we're both in this country, I really want to talk to him. Before it's too late. Gavin is confused? Yeah, actually, why would he say before it's too late? What does Shanks knew? That day the massacre at the castle took place, Elbaf's most beloved king, Harold the Benevolent lost his life. What's this? Let us out! Who closed the gate? Help! Elder Gerald! This is the forbidden devil fruit passed down with an Elbaf. But just how did this man come to be so highly regarded by his people? Man, is it just me, or does it feel like there's more pages to this chapter than usual? A long time ago. What? The Red Force? No, it's not the Red Force. The Red Force has a dragon in the head thingy. This is the giant pirates. 109 years before the present day. If you ask anyone what the scariest thing on the sea is, the answer would always be the same: the giant warrior pirates. That was how things were in that era. In that age, even ships from the land of the giants. It's a giant ship. Evoked an immense fear due to Elbaf's reputation. I heard there's a beautiful princess in your castle. Let's have a peek. Wow, hehe. He was one of the reasons for said reputation. Whoops, my foot slipped. Yeah. Your Majesty, please stop this. King Harold of Moorland, Elbaf. So this is young Harold. I did not expect we'd go that far back. Just like 2 panels of him and I'm already like reminded of Loki. But haha. Harold began his reign at 45 years of age. Just 15 in human terms. Yeah, he was just a teen. No wonder he was such a menace. Despite this, King Harold, remarkably enough. But go on, tell me who your god is. Was pure scum. The untold story of Elbaf's renowned ruler. Oh my lord. Chapter 1152 end. Bro, I swear that it felt like 20 pages. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. No, it's the regular amount of pages. I guess it was just that much to talk about. And there was a lot, you know, in each page. Honestly, I feel like I talked already about, you know, like throughout the chapter what I thought of everything. Plus, I'm hungry and I kind of want to end the video soon. But right now I don't think I have much to really say for an ending discussion. But yeah, like I did not expect we'd go that far back in the flashback to see Harold in his young age. But I guess we really need to know who he was. Especially since what we've been told about him is just how benevolent he was, you know? So, granted, this was him as 15, so maybe, you know, blame the people who made him king so young. Obviously, I mean, 15 human years. But he really was a menace. Like, it's already, you know, a 15-year-old in human size. Now imagine that in giant size, and that's That's quite the cause of concern. I do wonder if Loki knows about this. But okay, we still don't know how the whole thing with Harold's death went down, unfortunately. Oh, they're just still teasing us. But I do feel like, you know, it's implied now that Harold was under the dummy reversing control. Now I'm just like, yo, what did Shanks knew? What did he say before it's too late? Shanks knows too much. Surely he knows about the existence of Emo? But like, you know, what does he know? Now I want a flashback of Shanks and the Holy Land. How did that go? I cannot imagine him staying for like more than a few days tops. But yeah, Loki and Gerald seem to be, you know, getting along as much as Loki gets along with anyone. So yeah, like Gerald saw what was happening there. He hasn't said anything, so did Loki tell him that to not say anything? I don't know. Maybe. I feel like if it was up to just Gerald's judgment, he would have already said something about it. But he doesn't want to bring Loki's painful memories back. Though, like, just the way that he's treated by everyone in Elbaf, I feel like that's already cause enough for pain, so for some reason he just keeps on going despite people thinking wrongly of him. Like I said, he's not like, you know, it's not like Loki has ever done nothing bad in his life, but in this situation, he doesn't deserve it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Is anything gonna come of Luffy asking Loki to join his crew? We'll have to wait and see, right? For the end of the arc? I don't know how I would feel about a Straw Hat joining this late in the story. But if anyone can change my mind, it would be Yoda. You know, really making me attached to Loki and being like, okay, I can see him working out with the Straw Hats. And making me like emotionally attached to him. I do like that the reasons for that Sanji and Zoro gave to not let him join were very practical. He doesn't fit in the ship. He's gonna need way too much food. And I love Luffy's response to it. He seems okay to me. Of course, Loki right now said no, but I mean, like when has a Straw Hat member said yes from the get-go, you know? I mean, Robin invited herself in, but that's an exception. And Brooks said yes at first, and then when he got into the Sunny, he was like, actually no, and went to go get his shadow by himself. So, yeah, we'll have to see and wait. Anyway, this is it for this video. If you enjoyed my reaction, please like and subscribe. Till next time, see ya.